Hello.
Yeah.
Very nice to be here. I've been following you for 15 years now. A bit nervous. I have a two-part question. The first one's kind of an appetizer. So I know that when you are doing a session like this, you are incorporating the energy of course, the people in the room. I believe there's a live stream going on now. You're aware of all the energy of all the people tuning in at this moment in time. I am a subscriber of the twice a month subscription. I listen to you almost on a daily basis. And I feel like when I'm listening to a past recording that I'm tapping into the energy. And are you aware, how does the future connect to now? Are you aware of the future energy? Am I, when I'm listening in the future, am I contributing to now? Because you've also said you can't change the past.
We are aware of it, but we're not focused on your future in a situation like this. Say you're out somewhere in the world watching the live stream of it. What we are aware of in every case, whether you're in this room or otherwise listening, in the now. Listening after the fact is a little different, and we'll clarify that in a moment. But this live, in the moment interaction with everything that you are and everything that you're emanating, the benefit of that is that as we are offering to you, you are also offering to us. In other words, there's a vibrational communication that's going on. For example, when we have a conversation with you, we really like the way you set this up, by the way. When we are having a conversation with you and others are listening in, they have impressions about it or thoughts about it or even further questions about it that all become part of the mix. And so this now moment is really good feeling to anyone who is aware of how they feel in the now. Your power is all in your now. And so you're contributing, whether you sit in the hot seat and speak, or whether you're somewhere in this room or somewhere around the world, you are contributing to the conversation, whether you know that you are or not. And if you do know that, then you would expect to receive your answer, whether you are in the hot seat where we are addressing you directly or not. But it's not just us that we're talking about. It's your inner being. It's the non-physical family that is aware of you. These answers are available to you at all times. In other words, it's a boundaryless universe. It's a vibrational universe. And so the key is not where you are or what you're doing or even when you're listening. It's that if you're in tune with your inner being. So now, you got that part about what's happening live, and that's really the most satisfying in the moment. But let's say after the fact you are listening to one of the twice monthlies, which Esther considers to be the best of the material. That's what they work for, is sort of picking the best of the nuggets that's happened lately and presenting them to those who don't have time to listen to everything, which is most everybody. You need another lifetime to listen to everything. And so for those that are listening after the fact, as you say, we are not in this room projecting to you for your future, but your inner being is always with you, and your inner being is as important and as effective to you as you getting to sit here and dialogue directly with Esther. Your inner being is answering you and guiding you. In other words, you don't need Esther, you don't need Abraham. You've got your own connection to source energy. The benefit that she offers in a presentation like this is that she is an example, and words don't teach, only life experience does, of what alignment is and what you have access to. And so we really like to co-create like this with you all. And we really like it when you co-create directly with your own inner beings as well. You have access to everything that you want at all times. Now, is it more effective for you to come to a group where there's more expectation? Yeah, in the sense that you goose each other up a bit. You come with great expectation. Esther could feel, she knows what it takes for you to get here. She's decided that the next event for you all is going to be in Manhattan. She's decided to let go of her obstacles that Manhattan has presented to her in the past. and allow herself to be the receiver of the best plan of action for you there. Jerry always said, Esther, if we travel to the states, to the cities, to the places where they are, it's a path of lesser resistance for them to get to us. There are 10 of us traveling, and if we go to where more of you are, then there are fewer of you traveling. And while travel is fun, so is convenience, yes? So did we answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. I'm excited to see you in Manhattan. I used to live there. I now am in Connecticut, but I will gladly travel.
See, that's always the way, isn't it? So, yes.
So the second question is that I really am experiencing a crisis of confidence. So it's not that... So 7 months ago, I was laid off from my job. I have had many great opportunities over the last 7 months. Many of them have come very close. I just found out yesterday that 2 that were brewing are not happening after all. You know, the money will eventually run out if I don't get a job.
What's your expertise?
My expertise, I'm a product manager in financial technology, rather on the senior side. And I'm quite good at what I do. But there are not a ton of perfect opportunities, but I have found like 6 or 7 really good opportunities. They haven't worked out. And I know that things are always working out for me. So I know that if things aren't happening, it means that I'm sabotaging myself somehow. And I try my very best to keep positive, but I'm feeling a lot of self-doubt.
We appreciated the candidness of what you offer. And those were some strong words. When you say a crisis of confidence, that's strong. That's down there with 22 on the emotional scale. And we think stronger word than the vibration we feel from you. When you talk about the doubt, that's down there too. We want to just say that it's not so much a crisis of confidence or really even a substantial doubt that it won't turn out. What it really is just too much attention to what's happening right now. It's like if you get up in the morning and you miss breakfast and maybe you miss lunch too, you wouldn't say, I have a crisis of confidence that I will ever eat again. You would just say, I'm hungry now. I'm hungry now. Right now, I'm uncomfortable because what I'm wanting to feed myself is not here right. But there's no crises because you know that things are working out for you in regards to some things more than others. So see how we soften that just by offering an analogy, a ridiculously silly analogy, because almost no one is starving, although there are those who are. So it's not completely ridiculous. In other words, there are those who have real crises of confidence that they will feed their children. You are not one of them. And when you think about it, and when you get things a little bit in perspective, you don't really have any crises at all. Instead of a crisis of consciousness or even doubt, it's more like frustration because you're used to things going the way you want them to go. You are a deliberate creator, and you said to us, I'm quite good, we know, very good at what you do. Anyone who would work with you would have great benefit in your knowledge. And so what you want to do is match up with that. They're out there looking for you, and you're out there looking for them, but the matchup doesn't happen when you're in that feeling of doubt. The matchup happens when you are softer in your touch, when you are lighter in it, when you soften it. This isn't forever, this is just temporary. And then take it a little further if you want to. We could give you all kinds of processes. We are so full of them. And that's path of least resistance, path of lesser resistance, path of lesser resistance for you. But you could take the path of more allowance just by acknowledging that you're good at what you do, and therefore you are highly sought after. So the law of attraction is making the matches, but how you feel is what you're matching to. And when you're having a crisis or you're in doubt, then you're matching to the absence of what you want, not to the unfolding of what you want. And then you get mad at yourself because you know better. Because as you say, you've heard every word that is important that we've ever spoken. And so take it easy. We anticipate a wonderful unfolding for you. And we know for sure that there's been enough movement in your vibration that something's going to turn up fast. It isn't something you're already thinking about, though. Esther said to her driver who drove her from LaGuardia up here, she said they're talking about lots of things. They really got into it fast. They were like a really good match. Click, 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 click. And both of them were chatterboxes. They just couldn't say enough fast enough. Esther wished it was 100 miles further. And so did the driver. In other words, they were really having a good conversation. And Esther sort of had a thought that she has not thought, and she's certainly not spoken it before. I really like the stability of the known, but I like so much the adventure and the excitement of the unknown. And he said, ooh, I like that. And so you can keep yourself happy by feeling the comfort of what you do know and the adventure of what's coming. Because whether you're feeling comfortable or adventurous, comfortable or excitement, you are in the receiving mode. You are a vibrational match to those who are looking for you. Good?
Very good. Thank you so much.
Yes, you did. Speak up so they can hear you. Yeah.
Well, I actually just did go the most comfort path. I just retired, and I'm going to move to my most favorite place on earth. And I want to ask you how to put expectations in a place that feel doable and passable.
Just by practicing. An expectation is a more evolved thought. Sometimes you have a fleeting thought, something that just occurs to you, and often it occurs to you out of your awareness of what you don't want and what you do want. In other words, it comes to you. It's like a solution that comes right out of your vortex because you're in a receptive mode. But then almost as soon as you think about it, it doesn't feel practical. It doesn't really feel doable. So you sort of shoot it in the foot almost immediately, which is not a good idea. You want to keep yourself in alignment as best you can. So by the time something becomes an expectation, you've thought about it. You've thought about it with ease, and you've thought about it with ease. Start again. Wanted and unwanted both grow. There can be a thought which, if you think it long enough, becomes a belief, and if you think it long enough, becomes an expectation, and if you think it long enough, it becomes a manifestation of both unwanted and wanted things. The law of attraction is the grow light that is shining on whatever your thought is, and it's going to get more. So when you realize that, and you decide that you're going to find the best feeling thoughts that you can find and spend more time on them, then your expectation comes into place, and then it's not an awkward, fleeting thought. It's a practiced point of attraction. And then things start occurring that are evidential of that calibrating that you've been doing because you have been caring about your comfort knob.
Is this the same way? Last time you spoke to me, you mentioned that it would be great to get rid of struggle, sacrifice, unfortunate, and punishment beliefs. Last time I spoke to Abraham mentioned struggle, sacrifice, unworthiness.
When you feel like that, you're in a holding pattern. Not only that, but law of attraction says, here's some more, 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 until you can really feel defeated or unblessed. But once you get it, that how you feel does not have to have anything to do with what's happening right now. It usually does have a lot to do with what's happening right now, but it doesn't have to, because you have the ability to find a better feeling no matter where you are.